TwT fans, it is episode 244 on this December 5th, 2024. And as always, I'm so glad to see so many of you coming back for more. Let me get into a few things here. I want to say thank you to everybody. I want to remind everybody to subscribe. talkinwithtopher@gmail.com is the official email of the podcast. So make sure you send your audio, video, or type it out. And of course, Linktree link in the description. It's also at the bottom of the screen, and it's where you find everything TwT. It's just that easy. And now with the housekeeping out of the way, we're going to get into Topher's topics for today. I got some wild shit going on here. So let's see here. China's EV maker XPENG unveils iron robot with 60 joints to mimic human movements. This thing's really neat looking. I mean, these things are just crazy now. But you can see it right here. Okay, so I got a video right here of Meet Iron, XPENG's new humanoid robot. Hey, everybody is putting music in their videos now so that you can't play any of the fucking sounds. So I'll try to walk through this, but man, this is a nightmare now. So they're showing the moving of the joints. It's got over 60 to move more like a human than ever. So we're watching the video. It's just looking at, wow. All right, it's walking over to a statue. Already the walking looks way better. It looks like the hips move more like a human. And then it's going to mimic these statues, or is it just going to steal the frisbee? He's touching the frisbee, and, oh, wait a minute. Wait for it. There it is. Yeah, I have to say it looks more human-like. For sure, but it still has the Optimus look to it, doesn't it? Same face. The thinker, which is just a guy sitting on a toilet. So it is mimicking the statues. Huh. Very interesting. So it mimics the statues, and then, yeah, the movements are way more human-like than they've ever been. Absolutely crazy. I mean, I guess it's all about who is going to make it to that finish line first. Who's going to make it to the finish line first, everybody? You know, Elon's Optimus is doing great, but it is still more like a robot, where Iron is looking more human. So I guess it all just depends on which one you want. But I still, like everything else, I wait for it. Because I just don't believe that anything is actually ready. So Elon has made a colossal supercomputer. This thing is absolutely insane, everybody. It's crazy. This is a 10-minute video. I'm only going to play like a couple moments of it. I'll try to flip through it to the best of my abilities, but it is wild to see. I mean, yes, the computers have gotten smaller, but the amount of computer that he has put into this, I want to call it complex. This is not like a building. This is a whole area, and it's just, the whole area looks like it's laid out like a motherboard. It's absolutely wild what he's doing. And I'm sorry, if you think he's an idiot, you're the fucking idiot. Because the shit that he's doing right now, this is incredible. And if he can pull off the most craziest thing I've ever heard of by doing what is going to be done later on in the episode, I mean, Probably one of the most intelligent people I could ever imagine, because I don't believe that Elon's an idiot. I think Elon is very, very smart, and I don't think we can even imagine what it's like being in his head. I honestly don't. I know he's way smarter than I am, and of course, even smart people are stupid. But an idiot? No. Look at this shit. This is crazy, everybody. Crazy.
Elon Musk and his XAI startup have built the largest and most powerful artificial intelligence training supercomputer in the world. Elon has named this beast Colossus. It is equipped with the latest NVIDIA GPU hardware, it's liquid-cooled with vast amounts of water, and is powered by giant Tesla Megapack batteries. Elon believes that all of this combined will create the world's most powerful artificial intelligence, one that will literally solve the mysteries of the universe. And what we see today is only the beginning. This is what's inside Colossus. The location is Memphis, Tennessee, in an industrial park southwest of the city center on the bank of the mighty Mississippi River. The building itself wasn't constructed by XAI.
Well, that would make sense because they need all the water, right? You gotta have enough water to cool this friggin' thing.
It was previously home to Electrolux, which is a Swedish appliance manufacturer. So if you've been wondering why Elon chose Memphis and not Austin, it basically just comes down to finding the right building in the right location to get this thing up and running as fast as possible, to discover the undiscoverable, solve the unsolvable, invent of these GPU racks and serviced. Now, the thing to keep in mind about gigantic computer systems like this is that things will break. There's no way to avoid that, but having a plan to keep failures localized and get problems solved as fast as possible, that is going to make an incredible difference in the overall productivity of the cluster. On the amount of power, and again, XAI has packs, then the batteries discharge directly into the training cluster. This provides the super consistent direct energy required for the entire network to have the most efficient training session that is physically possible. This unique energy upgrade will become even more critical when XAI doubles the size of Colossus to over 200,000 H100 GPUs, something that Elon claims will happen within the next 2 months. That is an insane rate of growth, and it's got the established AI giant scared. There have been reports that OpenAI CEO Sam Altman has already told Microsoft executives that he's concerned Elon will soon overtake them in access to computing power.
That is wild, and I don't understand all of it, but it is crazy to see such a monster computer system and something that could possibly bring us to the next level of, what do they call it? It's not AI anymore. It's AGI, right? When it becomes autonomous and starts doing its own thing, I think that's going to help get it there. Like I've said, I don't think Elon's an idiot. I think he's really smart. You know, a lot of people are upset with him because he doesn't, you know, see his kids or anything like that. But let's be real about it, right? The guy's a billionaire. He's given people communication with Starlink that have been hurt by storms. Whether those storms were our government's fault or not is beyond the fact. You know, he gave them back internet with Starlink. He's making it so that we don't have to keep throwing rockets into the ocean. We can reuse the bodies. He's making it so that one day we will never have to drive our cars again. He's also doing the unthinkable with these Tesla bots, and now they're in every single household. So, I mean, we're building a supercomputer for AI intelligence. It's insane how many things he has going on, right? He's got a ton of stuff going on. Now, I don't know how many of you look into this, or if you just read a title and you're like, oh, Elon doesn't take care of his kids. No, Elon acknowledges all of his kids. There was one that wasn't acknowledged for some reason or another. There was maybe one or two. Even those children have been acknowledged now. the fact that he doesn't hang out with them or see them, he's still giving his kids more than most. Plus, this is a man that wants to saturate the earth with his spawn. So he doesn't have time for all the kids, right? And I do believe that there was probably some type of a arrangement or agreement to this happening. And the fact that the kids are all growing up, they're all doing their thing, they're all healthy, and, you know, they're all taken care of, is more than most get today. So I think you should really look a little deeper to why you hate Elon. I don't like Mark Zuckerberg, right? He acts like a robot. He looks like a robot. He might be a robot. I don't know. But at the end of the day, these people are changing the world. And whether we like them or not, I don't think is the real issue at hand. You know, everybody's so unhappy with certain things and the way things are going and the people that are doing it. And I hate this person. Do you really? Do you really? I hear that so much. I hate Elon. I hate Trump. I hate Kamala. What? Why are you wasting the energy on this? Why are you wasting that energy on them? On people that mean nothing to you on a day-to-day basis. I think it's silly. I think it's really, really silly, you know. Having a disdain for any politician is just a waste of our time because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. You vote the person in, the one you didn't vote for gets in. Look, I am looking forward to a lot of things, but like, I don't think there's one politician that I hate except for Pelosi. And the only reason I hate Pelosi is because we all know that there was insider trading. That's what I hate. I don't think I hate the person themselves. I hate the fact that if you look at their portfolio in stocks, they're top earners. Huh? That doesn't even make any sense. How are you a top earner? Oh, because you got information. And it's okay for you, but it's not okay for me. Right? It's okay for you, and it's not okay for Martha Stewart. You know what I mean? So I think we just need to recalibrate throwing that word around. I think we need to take another look at the things that bother us about people. I don't think him not being with his kids on a daily basis is a good enough reason to not like Elon Musk. I think insider trading and making it in the stock market is not enough for me to actually hate Pelosi. It's just an interesting world we live in, and I don't think we choose our words correctly a lot of the times. And I don't think we put a lot of our emotions and feelings in the right places. But I think Elon is our Skynet. There is no Skynet. It is only Tesla. Now, this one here, I thought was funny because, you know, Trump is beefing up the security with robot dogs that are seen patrolling Mar A Lago estate. Now, look, man, I don't know much about what this estate is, and I guess he lives there. I don't know. I don't know much about it. But what I am noticing is these robot dogs making their way into these areas with surveillance and guns and, man, I don't know about arming these things, but they make great surveillance I guess. I mean, we're using them to help. We're using them to help us build buildings, you know, or helping contractors with all the finishing touches, because these things can move floor to floor and scan and do things, and they're like, hey, you're missing a light switch, you're missing a heating board, you're missing, you know, let's get back to this level and tidy this up, right? So I think those things are great, but I don't know about security. So we'll see what this says. Robot dog joins heavy security outside of Mar A Lago following Trump win. Oh, yeah, look at it. It's got a microphone and a camera. This one doesn't seem to be loaded. Yep, just patrolling the area. I mean, what's that going to do? What's it actually going to do? I don't know. What is that robot going to do? Is it going to send out a signal to security and be like, if they find something abnormal, does it send a signal to the security people? You know, are the security people watching the dog's moves? And then when, you know, so how is this all working? I don't know. It doesn't seem to be armed, so that's a good thing. But the robots are everywhere, everybody. They're slowly making their way into our everyday lives. And they've been slowly doing it for quite some time. You know, just like those Roomba vacuums that I was like, I would never buy one of those. And I think it was like 6 or 7 years ago. I guess today they're a lot better. They actually can go over thresholds and they can do certain things. And the things that I was like, they're not going to be able to do this, right? So why am I going to purchase something that's not going to be able to do the whole job? You know, I needed to get in the corners and do this and do that. And they couldn't before, and now they can. They have little arms that come out and scoop things, and, you know, they're much better at getting over thresholds. And, you know, I still have dog gates up, you know. The dog gates are up because I got to separate my dogs when they eat. Otherwise, the one that eats everything in sight and acts like we've never fed him before will eat the other dog's food while he's got his freaking mouth in the bowl. And I don't know what's going on with me today. I have a lot of saliva and a lot of mucus, so I apologize for the sounds that I'm making today. But damn, man, it's crazy. Now, getting back to the Trump thing, Trump winning. Look, everybody, I don't know what to tell you, but you got to stop posting this stuff. Stop putting it out there, because I'm telling you right now, this is not a good look for anybody out there. This is just horrible. It's horrible. But I'm going to play it because it makes me laugh, and it should make everybody laugh, because even the people that put these videos up, they should be able to laugh at themselves for being this ridiculous. Look, we all had to accept the fact that Trump was voted in over Hillary. We all had to get over the fact that Biden won over Trump, even though, yeah, I mean, look at the numbers. And then all of you have to get over the fact that Trump's in again and Kamala lost. And you don't have to worry about your rights, because it's up to your state. And if you are unhappy with your state, you have the right to move. So, I mean, just keep it all in mind, all right? But this is absolutely hilarious, and it's wild to watch, man. It's wild to watch, because even when I didn't vote for somebody, I never got like this, and I never put anything out like this. I think it's crazy to put this stuff out there on the internet. I don't know who these people think they are, but they're like, everybody needs to see how I'm reacting right now.
How did we get here? How did we get here? What in the Alice in Wonderland nightmares is going on right now?
All I can say is, how fucking dare you?
If you voted for that man, if you voted for
anybody other than Kamala and you live in one of the states that it was, close, or if you didn't vote, fuck you.
Wow.
It's not gonna happen. Go, Kamala.
Oh my God, that looks fake.
I chose America.
Look at this fucking.
How the fuck is this still happening? All I've ever known politically is hatred.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with you.
Hold on. I have to pause this because all she knows is hatred. That's exactly what you're portraying right now. You just did it. So, God, it's so hypocritical.
I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
I'm sorry to all my friends who are Trump supporters. But you don't understand how scared of this man I am.
If this guy does end up winning again, all of the people who voted for him will be like happy and they'll just be celebrating. And everyone else, everyone who feels threatened by him is fucking scared. Like,
Of what?
we're scared for our lives. We're scared for
You're
our friends.
scared for your
Dare
lives.
you put this man into office for another 4 years, knowing damn well what it means for our country.
What does it
What it
mean?
means for us as a people.
Prosperity?
To know that there is that much ignorance and that much hate in this country.
To unlock secrets?
Terrifying. It's so terrifying.
How the fuck are we back in this same situation again?
Because it's awesome.
Who the fuck is voting for him?
All of us.
Fuck you. I don't want to hear about how shitty your life gets under his policies. Live with that decision. Sit with it.
Oh, I will.
Make you uncomfortable.
Thank you.
Fuck you.
Oh, I don't know what the fuck everybody thinks is going to happen. I don't know what Kamala was going to do for you. I don't know what Kamala was going to do for our country. She wouldn't have been capable of speaking to world leaders. She would have put Israel first. She would have put Ukraine first. She would have put transgender surgery for children first. And I'm sorry. Our censorship was out of control, and doctors not being able to speak amongst doctors about questions about things that may or may not be hurting people today because they weren't tested would still be happening. And now all of it gets to stop. You can't censor me anymore. Well, that's a win in my book. The simple fact that a lot of stuff is going to get uncovered. The fact that our federal reserves, federal government has implemented way too much of our state to state will hopefully be destroyed. And we can get back to what America is supposed to be. Run by the states, not by the federal government. As for the abortion laws, the federal government should have never gotten involved. Just like the federal government should have never been involved with a lot of this stuff, which is why they're pulling back on it, which is why they're shutting it down. Look at what it's done to our food industry. And not for nothing, but at the end of the day, look at who runs the FDA. Because it's big tobacco. So big tobacco couldn't keep getting people sick off their cigarettes. So they moved to the food industry to keep everybody sick. And then they shook hands with the pharmaceutical companies. And they were like, we make them sick, you keep them sick. Right? Shook hands. No, let me rephrase that. They shook hands with the pharmaceutical company and they were like, look, we'll make them sick. You make them feel better so that we can keep them sick, right? That's what's going on. That's what's going to be destroyed. That's what's going to be destroyed. And if you don't think these things are happening, or the simple fact that we've had the wool try to be pulled over our eyes, and we've tried so hard to uncover it. And even myself, I've been demonetized for things I brought up. I've been taken down for things that I've brought up. And I'm not even saying that it's the truth. I'm saying to look into it. Find your own truth. And they shut me down. They demonetize me. They shadow ban me. And they take videos down from friggin' 3 years ago. Because I said jujitsu is better than a pill. All of this needs to stop. But I will live with my decision. And you can go fuck yourself. So every time I bring this up, I really get in trouble for this one. But this video keeps coming up, and I want more people to see it. I'm telling you, this is what they want. The people that you wanted to vote in, Kamala and all the Dems, this is what they want. And this is what we're stopping.
Now, the world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Well, common sense would tell you if you have a man standing in front of you and he's going to reduce the world's population by 10 or 15% using vaccines, what does that mean to you? It means somebody's going to die because you put a vaccine in them. It doesn't mean you're going to save people. That's pretty much common sense in my brain. But yet I saw him say it. He said it. And here we are. I don't know. Here we are. I'm now an anti-vaxxer. I wasn't before.
So I don't know if you really paid attention to that, but he does say that if we give them these vaccinations, we can bring that population down. This is the goal, everybody. This is the goal. The less people there are, the easier it is to control everybody. The easier that it is to control everybody, the easier it is to implement one world order. When we get to one world order, it's not one country. It's not one world order. They want this. This is what I keep talking about. This is what we're trying to stop. And I believe we'll see it. We're going to start seeing all this shit come out. Aliens are real. Encounters are real. The spaceships are real. All the shit that they've been telling us for decades to make hundreds of thousands of people feel crazy. How many people have been thrown into some type of institution because we're like, oh my God, you're a crazy person that thinks it was abducted by an alien? I mean, so many people. You know? And it's all coming to an end. I think Trump's going to release everything this time around. It's going to be a little bit more, it's probably going to be a little bit more difficult than he's anticipating. I do believe there were some things he wanted to do last time that he got stopped. But I think this time he isn't going to get stopped because he knows what his voters want. We want the truth. We want the Epstein list. We want to know. Stop hiding from us. We're already investigating this. We don't believe a word you say anymore. So if anything happens, I just want the truth. And I think we're going to get it. I think we're going to get it this time. I hope we get the JFK reports. I hope we get everything because you know the government took him out. You know the government never landed on the moon. Like, I don't know. How deep does this go? Will we find out whether or not the earth is round or flat? I do believe there's truth out there to find. And as soon as we can get it, I think we'll be able to start moving forward from there. Now, on the other hand, you know, I am a little worried because I know Trump is for the billionaires. But I'm hoping, and this is a giant hope, that Elon is going to do something and get us to a point with crypto and hopefully get rid of our national debt, because that would be amazing. And if you could just get that crypto to take off, buddy, for I don't know how many of us that are actually involved in this, but man, I sure could use a payday, bud. So get out there, blow up this cryptocurrency, get it going, turn it into something real, pay off our national debt, and hopefully all of us that believed in cryptocurrency in the beginning will get a little something so that it just solidifies we were right. You know? I think that's what's important. But I'm also going to show you one more thing before I get going. I'm going to let this whole entire thing play because this is the most exciting thing about all of this is right here.
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country. It's as simple as that. If this most fundamental right is allowed to perish, then the rest of our rights and liberties will topple just like dominoes, one by one. They'll go down. That's why today I'm announcing my plan to shatter the left-wing censorship regime and to reclaim the right to free speech for all Americans. And reclaim is a very important word in this case because they've taken it away. In recent weeks, bombshell reports have confirmed that a sinister group of deep state bureaucrats, Silicon Valley tyrants, left-wing activists, and depraved corporate news media have been conspiring to manipulate and silence the American people. They have collaborated to suppress vital information on everything from elections to public health. The censorship cartel must be dismantled and destroyed, and it must happen immediately. And here's my plan. First, within hours of my inauguration, I will sign an executive order banning any federal department or agency from colluding with any organization, business, or person to censor, limit, categorize, or impede the lawful speech of American citizens. I will then ban federal money from being used to label domestic speech as mis- or disinformation. And I will begin the process of identifying and firing every federal bureaucrat who has engaged in domestic censorship, directly or indirectly, whether they are the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Health, Human Services, the FBI, the DOJ, no matter who they are. Second, I will order the Department of Justice to investigate all parties involved in the new online censorship regime, which is absolutely destructive and terrible, and to aggressively prosecute any and all crimes identified. These include possible violations of federal civil rights law, campaign finance laws, federal election law, securities law, and antitrust laws, the Hatch Act, and a host of other potential criminal, civil, regulatory, and constitutional offenses. To assist in these efforts, I am urging House Republicans to immediately send preservation letters, and we have to do this right now, to the Biden administration, the Biden campaign, and every Silicon Valley tech giant, ordering them not to destroy evidence of censorship. Third, upon my inauguration as president, I will ask Congress to send a bill to my desk revising Section 230 to get big online platforms out of censorship business. From now on, digital platforms should only qualify for immunity protection under Section 230 if they meet high standards of neutrality, transparency, fairness, and non-discrimination. We should require these platforms to increase their efforts to take down unlawful content such as child exploitation and promoting terrorism, while dramatically curtailing their power to arbitrarily restrict lawful speech. Fourth, we need to break up the entire toxic censorship industry that has arisen under the false guise of tackling so-called mis- and disinformation. The federal government should immediately stop funding all nonprofits and academic programs that support this authoritarian project. If any U.S. university is discovered to have engaged in censorship activities or election interferences in the past, such as flagging social media content for removal of blacklisting, those universities should lose federal research dollars and federal student loan support for a period of 5 years and maybe more. We should also enact new laws laying out clear criminal penalties for federal bureaucrats who partner with private entities to do an end run around the Constitution and deprive Americans of their First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment rights. In other words, deprive them of their vote. And once you lose those elections, and once you lose your borders like we have, you no longer have a country. Furthermore, to confront the problems of major platforms being infiltrated by legions of former deep staters and intelligence officials, there should be a 7-year cooling-off period before any employee of the FBI, CIA, NSA, DNI, DHS, or DOD is allowed to take a job at a company possessing vast quantities of U.S. user data. Fifth, the time has finally come for Congress to pass a digital Bill of Rights. This should include a right to digital due process. In other words, government officials should need a court order to take down online content, not send information requests such as the FBI was sending to Twitter. Furthermore, when users of big online platforms have their content or accounts removed, throttled, shadow banned, or otherwise restricted, no matter what name they use, they should have the right to be informed that it's happening, the right to a specific explanation of the reason why, and the right to a timely appeal. In addition, all users over the age of 18 should have the right to opt out of content moderation and curation entirely and receive an unmanipulated stream of information if they so choose. The fight for free speech is a matter of victory or death for America and for the survival of Western civilization itself. When I am president, this whole rotten system of censorship and information control will be ripped out of the system at large. There won't be anything left. By restoring free speech, we'll begin to reclaim our democracy and save our nation. Thank you, and God bless America.
I mean, look, everybody, it's a wild time to be alive, right? These, I think, are all good things. This is what we need right now. And I'm sorry, but I don't believe Kamala will be doing these things if she was in charge. If anything, it would be more blocking, more shadow banning, more everything, because I wouldn't be allowed to say anything because we got to worry about how everybody else feels out there. Well, if you don't like what I'm saying, change the channel. You don't agree with the way I think, stop watching. And if you think everything that's been going on is good and great, and it should continue that way, and children should be able to make their own decisions, and we should give them surgeries and drugs to change them, you should be dragged out into the street and shot. That is not progressive. That is not right. You are hurting your own children. And I've said this a bunch of times, and I'm going to say it one more time. If you are an adult with children, and you're allowing them to do this, you're not doing it because you care for your kids. You're doing it because it looks good for social media. And that is very gross. But this gets me excited, everybody. It gets me excited because this is what I want. I am sick of being shadow banned. I am sick of worrying about what I've said. I want to be somewhere where free speech is allowed no matter what. To allow the people to make their own decisions on whether or not they're hearing good things, bad things, or things they agree with. If you hear something that seems a little off, look into it. I say it all the time. I say it all the time now. I'm not here to tell you what I say is right or wrong. This is how I feel. And you know what? If I'm wrong, I'll fix it. This is just how I'm feeling right now. And I think we're on a great start to a new beginning. Our country, our states, and myself. Everything happens for a reason. Sometimes you won't know the reason until you see it. I still haven't seen the reason why I got let go from the company I was working for. But I do see a better future for myself and my sanity in front of me. So I'm excited for that. And I think a lot of you need to reflect on what it is that upsets you about about Trump being president this time around. What are you so worried about? And I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm not saying that it's wrong. But if you live in a state where none of this matters, right? Nothing changed. What do you care what's happening anywhere else? You know, I think that's the bigger problem. Is everybody is always looking at somebody else's problems as their own. And I don't think that's the right way to think. There are no problems with any of the stuff that's going on out there happening in New Hampshire. I don't think it's going to change. I think we're always going to be the same. But unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of states out there that think ass backwards. And they're going to fight forever over whether or not this is right or wrong, or how long and how. Again, I know this isn't an easy fix. But if you're unhappy with your state, move out of your state. And if your state doesn't have any of these issues, then I think you should keep your mouth shut and not worry about what's going on in another state. Because that's how this country is supposed to run. It is. It just is. And the federal government is not supposed to be doing anything that they've done. The fact that they've implemented so much and the federal government is so involved in everything is the reason our system is breaking. So let's fix the system and take the federal government out and dismantle all of it. I think this is going to be a better America. I am now changing my thoughts on the federal government. I no longer want them involved in anything anymore. And I think it's time for them to go. Probably not to the full extent. I don't know. What do you think? So, hey, leave some comments, do some things. I got to go eat some food, jump on the mats. I appreciate everybody who watches and follows and does all the things that you do for me. I greatly appreciate it. With that all being said, everybody, I just want to say, I hope you enjoy your Thursday. Have a great rest of your weekend. And as always, I will talk to you later.